I've got a right to be wrong. My mistakes will make me. Hello, welcome to another review from Robert's Reading Room and Reviews. I just finished reading this book by this author. This is the second book I read by her. The first one is Where There's Smoke. It was a short story. She also has had some of her books turned into movies, and one of her books was My Sister's Keeper, and I remember watching that. It was a very touching story because it was dealing with one of the sisters who had cancer, and I know how that is because I've had it in my family also too. And the other book was The Tenth Circle, and I'm talking about Jodi Pope. Excuse me if I mispronounce her name wrong, but I'm not the only one that seem to have trouble pronouncing her name. But I do apologize. I just want to say this book was interesting. I felt like this book was a learning book. I learned things about elephant because Leaving Time was about elephants and how to interact with humans. The main characters was like one was like Jenny. It started off with Jenny Metcalf. Jenny lost her mother when she was a baby, and she was searching for her mother, and because her mother, it was an incident at the sanctuary where they did elephant in Tennessee. Because her mother was a researcher, and she worked with elephants, and she was started out in Africa, and she came to the States because she met Jenny's father, which is named Thomas, and I'm gonna get to him a little later. But the book started out with her trying to find her mother because her mother supposedly had got trampled by an elephant and was unconscious. They took her to the hospital that night. She woke up and just vanished, and no one knows where she at. No one seems to care about this little 13-year-old girl. She lives with her grandmother. Her grandmother's never really reported anything or never did anything like trying to find her daughter. And I just found that kind of strange too. Anyway, so she met her father, Thomas, which is Thomas Metcalf. He was in the States here in New England, and he came to visit the sanctuary for elephants in Africa, and they kind of hit it off. They had a fling. She wound up pregnant with Jenny. They started missing on each other, and she came to the States to visit, and she wound up staying. You know what they always say, everything that looks good is not good, because eventually she got married to him. And she told him she was pregnant. But it was a rush relationship. Come to find out, he was taking all these depressions, and he was like, I don't want to say crazy, but kind of crazy. He wound up, being depressed after he lost his father. He never really got over that. Meanwhile, he buys this sanctuary in Tennessee. They go to Tennessee, and they hire help. They hired this guy by the name of Gillian, and his family, his wife and her mother came along, and the relationship was really starting to strain between Thomas and Alice, Jenny's mother, and she wound up confiding in him, and an affair took place. This is where I didn't like the book because you got Gillian's wife, who I can't remember her name, I do apologize, who confided in Alice that, and she, by the way, while Gillian, Alice, and Thomas is working on the sanctuary, Gideon's wife is really taking care of Jenny, because Jenny is a baby, of course. And she confided in Alice and told her, she couldn't have kids. And she was avoiding the conversation with her husband. She hadn't told him. And she had made Alice promise that she wouldn't tell him either. So Alice knew this, and she slept with him. And all kinds of stuff took place. And this book here is back and forth, so you really need to read it, and pay attention. I wish I could have read it in one read because it was kind of hard to, it wasn't hard, but then it was. All I want to say is this book was very suspenseful, had a lot of murder in it, had two murders in it, and all I got to say is that Gideon's mother-in-law, wow, she is like low down. That's all I'm gonna say about the book. But I do want to say I very much enjoyed, and I do have more books by Jodi, and I have My Sister's Keeper, and I have a couple more that I want to read. The Storyteller. I just want to say it was good reading outside of my genre. And please, if you get a chance, please check this out. And I do want to say this too, for us elephants. I learned that ooh, their connection with human, like the trainers, if they really is really close with their trainer, they in the trainer like go on vacation or anything, they could go into deep depression and die, and that's serious. I was like, wow, I didn't think they will, experience something like that, and for us carrying a baby for 22 months, 2 years pregnant, and reading this book, Alice and them, they didn't even know sometime when the elephant was pregnant until it was time for them to deliver. I found that very ironic. But I just want to say that my next book, I kind of started my next book, and it's kind of outside my genre too. So it's good to leave, read different stuff. Science fiction, I still don't know. If you got a good one you think I might like and get into, please drop a comment up under this video. But I would like to say thanks for watching my video. Have a great evening. And please, if you get a chance, check this book out. Strong. I'm stepping out into the great